Up next, we'll be talking with Ramblin Ray Stevens about the new feature being rolled out by Microsoft. Is it a good tool or a step too far? That and much more when we come right back. Hey, Ramblin Ray.
Welcome back. It is 9:12. When it comes to your language, how worried are you about not offending anyone? Well, Microsoft will soon be previewing a new version of Word that will use artificial intelligence to make your writing more politically correct. For example, it will make suggestions such as changing congressman to congressperson and changing disabled person to person with a disability. We want to bring in radio personality Ramblin Ray Stevens to talk more about this morning. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, always good to have you. Okay, so it is an option to turn this feature off. Would this be something you would keep on your computer?
You know, I would probably keep it on my computer, my phone. I'd try to bring it with me everywhere I went, not only just to be more politically correct, but the grammatic part. That's where I need help.
Okay.
But, you know, it's interesting because I think that we live in a day and age where social media has everybody sitting behind one of these computer screens and saying whatever they think. And I think that's really what's kind of gone wrong in our society. There's things that people say that you would never say to their face. If you could be a little bit nicer, why not?
I don't like artificial intelligence trying to tell me how to be politically correct. I think I'm smart enough to know what I should say, what I shouldn't say. And I really don't like somebody telling me what to say anyway. And it's artificial intelligence anyway? Nah, not a fan of this idea.
Maybe it's one of those things,
I do
Anita.
like the autocorrect, but then that frustrates me too because I'll send something out. I'm like, that's not what I meant to say, then I have to fix it. But I do like the options when I'm starting to spell something and it's like, okay, just go to the shortcut, hit the word. But sometimes when you do talk to text, if you read what you actually sent, sometimes you're like, whoa, I didn't mean to send that.
Good point. Now that's another thing you could do. Maybe you send it, you write a text, and then you get 5 minutes to think about it. There's certain people that text every morning that could use that.
You know what? Everybody should wait. You know what? I think I would use it, but because the point is you don't have to use it, but they're giving you the suggestion and they're reminding you. I think, you know, people probably are a little more conscious. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, offend anybody.
I think our country has gotten so out of control with this politically correct here and there, everything. Like, I just hate it. It's
but we've all got to the point now where everybody just wants to fight everybody. So if we could be a little bit nicer,
but sometimes, Ray, you don't even realize that you're doing something. You're just being you, and then somebody's offended all of a sudden. And there are a lot of social norms that have changed. I get that, but you know, I think they have to allow time for people to get up to speed with them.
You know, I remember when we first started doing emails on a regular basis, and I learned very quickly that you couldn't joke on an email because what you think is funny, somebody else doesn't necessarily think that. And I think that's what's happened with social media. When you post something that you innocently think there's nothing wrong with it, and all of a sudden somebody is offended or criticizing you, you're thinking, where did that come from? So I don't know about you. No, actually, I do know about you because I've seen what you post. But I just try to post non-controversial stuff because I don't want to fight. Yes, I just don't want to.
Well, there are certain things that happen in news. You know, like that little boy in Lake County that just, you know, all bets are off for my filter when things like that happen. I know for you know, news people, not newswoman or man. I know for news people, you know, you have to kind of walk the line a little bit. Me, not so much.
Yeah, I know.
I need that filter.
I know, and you're funny about it too sometimes. Sometimes your tweets, I'm like, oh, did he really say that?
Oh, I think comedians and radio personalities, I definitely give them you know, a little more discretion.
Good, I get a pass.
Leeway.
Yep. And Ramblin Ray too. Okay, this next one we get such a kick out of this. So this is an interesting controversy that occurred at a wedding in Pennsylvania. A bride taking to Facebook to complain that a woman who was a +1 of another guest brought along 10 containers to bring food and desserts home that were leftovers. Well, this woman apparently was not struggling financially, but rather wanted to bring things to her family members. So some say this is totally tacky. Others say it would have gone in the trash anyway. So what do you think about this?
It's like my mom when she goes to the casino when they've got free crab leg day, and she brings her big purse, you know, the big Coach bag. I think that is absolutely insane. First of all, you're going to somebody's wedding and you're stuffing things in your bag. Now I get it. I need the corner piece of cake. Don't get me wrong. That's like if you want me to come, I have to have that. But no, I think that crosses a line. Now, Anita, you probably disagree with me. Now that's where you need to be politically correct.
I think it's crazy that anybody would do this, and I get like, oh, you don't want it. Then you let the host provide the plastic containers for you, and then that's different. But if you're going to go there with your stuff, come on, love, you're going to bring back food for the people back at home.
Containers.
You should have ordered a pizza before you left. Take care of them. Right. Find them something to eat. Throw a burger down their throat somewhere else. But why do you have to steal the wedding food?
Did she get the centerpiece?
Yeah, she got a centerpiece too.
And she took the floral arrangement. Yeah, exactly.
I've got to take the flowers.
I think that is so tacky. So did she come with a huge bag, like you were saying your mom did, filled with Tupperware containers?
Came with 7 containers, they said.
7 containers, right? And then as a bride, would you, okay, I want to know, let me ask you this question. As a bride or groom, would you have physically walked up to her and said, what are you doing?
I have to see what the check looks like. Let me see what you wrote me for a gift. If it's north of $250, take all the food you want.
What about you guys?
You know what? I wouldn't have said anything, but I tell you, it's one thing to take leftovers home from a restaurant, but they're your leftovers. You're taking somebody else's stuff home. You didn't buy it.
Might as well take a couple gifts with you as well.
Would you say anything, Anita?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
let it go.
People been drinking. You know, I think I'm smart enough to know people drink. You don't know how they're going to react. I think I would let somebody else say something. I'd go and tell the maitre d' or whatever to go say something. Like, what's going on here?
We probably wouldn't say anything to the people who did this, but we sure would all be talking about it as we are this morning, right?
Exactly. You ladies will all be invited to my next wedding.
Okay, awesome.